our group had been up at a ranch up in the Calvaritas area trying to rescue, we got called up to rescue 5 pigs and 6 horses. When we got there, 2 horses had wandered onto the property after being released by their owner as she was fleeing the fire. So we were able to get, out of those animals, we were able to get the 5 pigs, 1 mule, and not the cows. We spent quite a long time with a large group of us trying to rescue a horse that had wandered on there, but we were unable to get the horse to load into a trailer, and ultimately had to leave him behind, which was very heartbreaking for us. We then left there and we went to the town of Calvaritas to offer our help there, and after that we then went, let's see, where were we going? We were heading out somewhere, and we received another call, which was actually somebody that was sending us up to Stephanie's house in Sheep Ranch, and in order to get there we had to go down through Avery and Murphy's, Angels Camp, in order to get out there. It probably took us a good hour and a half.
Yeah, it was a while.
Yeah, to get our way back up to where she was.
So who called you with the call? Yoli?
Harmony Ranch?
Yeah, I think
Tara?
it was Tara
Yeah.
at Harmony Ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you'd mentioned that you had called them. And so Tara,
Yeah,
Yoli
Tara
was
gave me
handling
the
the
number.
phones, and so Tara called us and told us to go get Stephanie. That's how
Gave
we
me
did
the number, and then I called Stephanie,
And we
got the
got-
directions, and proceeded to get over there.
Yeah, we had to go a long back way in order to get there, because all the normal way you would get there had already been closed and evacuated due to fire.
Okay. And then, so Yoli, you were kind of mentioning that you guys called her. What did the conversation sound like when you got that call, Stephanie, from
Help!
Yoli and them?
I'm coming. Help! I'm coming. No, I was up there. The fire came in so fast that I had a plan, but the plan could not happen because it was down. The people were down in San Andreas. They couldn't leave their property because it was already a mandatory evacuation there. So I was really scared. I wasn't scared for myself because I could just drive out of there. The fire wasn't that close, but I had all these animals. I had these 3 donkeys, these 2 horses, 5 sheep, 2 goats, and 2 livestock guardian dogs. And it's an animal sanctuary, so there was no way I was going to leave them. And it just came so fast, and I had to do something quick. My friends couldn't come up and get me, and so I called Harmony Ranch. I can't remember if it was that morning or the day before, but I was really scared because the sky was turning black and there was so much smoke. The animals were really scared too. Something was obviously very different and threatening. So.
And the ash, there was a lot of ash.
There was a lot of ash falling.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of ash, and they kept calling me, and it was so reassuring because I was really afraid they couldn't get through. So Yoli called me all along the way, and part of it was to get directions, but she was saying, "Here's where we are," and it was just so reassuring because I was afraid they couldn't make it, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I would have just had to let them open all the gates and let them survive and see if they could survive on their own.
Now, did you have power?
No, it went out on Wednesday.
So you lost power on Wednesday, and this was what day?
This was Friday morning, and I went to bed on Thursday night with the fire all the way over in Moke and Jackson. And I had just written letters, someone saying, "Oh, it's very unlikely it's going to reach me."
Yeah, it's far away.
Yeah, and my brother called me at 5 a.m. and said it's at Jesus Maria and Railroad Flat, and that's 3 miles from me.
I think that's when the fire had doubled in size, like overnight already.
Yeah, and they said they had estimated that distance, it would take the fire 6 hours to go that distance. It took an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I called my friends that were at that junction down there 3 miles away, and they told me that someone had knocked on their door at 5 a.m. and said, "Get out now." And so they said, "There's a sheriff down there, head down toward that intersection and talk to that person," and I did, and people were evacuating on my road. And I didn't have animal transport. And I had a sanctuary. These are all rescue animals. So, and I had promised them I wouldn't leave them, and I wasn't going to. So
how did you feel when they drove up? I mean, were you?
Mary Beth got out first, and I just said my hero and hugged her, and it was so moving, and you too. And it was just thank Goddess, thank Jesus, praise the Lord, hallelujah, all of it. Anybody who needs to be thanked, thank you. I was so relieved. And then I have to say, Mary Beth was truly amazing because these donkeys were originally wild. It's hard to believe, I know. But Ulysses here, when I moved up to Sonoma County 2 years ago from Sonoma County. And what I had to do to get Ulysses in the trailer was crazy. I parked the trailer there for a month before I left and fed them in the trailer, and I didn't give them any other food but what was in the trailer. And these two went in and ate in the trailer, but Ulysses didn't, and then I found out that Raphael, his father, was feeding him. He would pick it up and turn and give it to him. So I was very worried about whether Ulysses was going to get in the trailer, and Mary Beth was truly amazing. After a day of rescuing, she was completely calm with the animals, and I had a halter and lead rope on him. She just went up to him, worked with him a little with the lead rope to let him know that she knows how to communicate, and he stepped up in the trailer. It was phenomenal. What were you thinking when you were doing that?
Well, just in that situation, it's really important that you keep the horses as calm as possible, and no matter what's going on around you, you just have to say, hey, it's just another day, and we're just gonna go load on up into this trailer and act as if you have all the time in the world. So, and we were pretty stressed at that point for.
How did you do, Yoli?
Well, when she had told me how many animals she had, and I relayed it to Mary Beth, and we knew we had some other friends with the trailer. So and I think Mary Beth's concern too was how are we going to get both of us up there, because they weren't behind us, but they were, quite a little bit behind us. So, and then when we lost contact going in the hills back there, my last text to Reba and Kathy was her address. And that was the last one.
That went through?
That was the last text
so
that
dramatic.
went through.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is we were driving up. We had so many people stopping us saying, "Don't go." It's you
didn't tell me that part.
Yeah, it was, yeah, there's other parts.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks. I really appreciate you not telling me that part.
Yeah, they said just and then one person, I remember, he pulled us over and said, if you're going to keep going up, you need to make it really, really, really fast. Yeah. And so and then
This is news to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and as we realized just how we kept going, are we there yet? Are we there yet? How far? And hey, kudos to Siri. She actually stayed with us on that. We didn't have any cell service, but the GPS service.
It stayed with you all the way down my driveway?
Yeah, the GPS stayed, got us all the way there.
That's unusual.
And that we were grateful for, because we were able to find it because it was so far back up in there, since we were almost all the way back to Mountain Ranch practically.
Right. 3 miles.
Yeah.
3 miles from that Mountain Ranch Road turn.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting, because we had left Mountain Ranch area. We'd actually left Mountain Ranch and drove all the way around in order to get all the way back.
Right.
So,
Well, there was a power pole down. That's why nobody could get through there.
I see. Yeah. So that was, and at that point, that address, having left that address, was, at this point, we did not know whether our friends would, faced with the same thing that we had been faced with, just turn around, you're not going to be able to get up there, that if they would still keep coming. And that was the last contact we were able to have, and we weren't even sure they got that address. And I was almost to the point of saying, you're going to have to start choosing, because we need to get out of here, and we could not get them all in. We'd gotten all the horses, or the donkeys and the minis, and some of the sheep, we just couldn't get them all in. And right at that point, here comes our backup flying up the road there, and that's when we were feeling that grateful at that point. And we threw all the sheep out, pulled out our trailer out of the way. They backed up, threw the sheep and the dogs in there, and yeah.
So what was the, can you tell me exactly again how many animals you guys got from that one?
Yeah, so that was 3 donkeys, 2 miniature horses, 5 sheep, 2 goats, and 2 livestock guardian dogs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So then, now tell me a little bit about the journey down the hill.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, journey down the hill was a little
unexpected.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Stephanie, did you take your own car?
I did, and I left 20 minutes probably after they did.
Oh, okay.
I had a pickup truck.
Okay.
And much to her surprise, as she came driving by, she finds us broken down on the grade, on the very steep grade going out of Sheep Ranch.
So you were going up or down?
We were going up, at which time the transmission decided it had had enough of our high heat hill driving, and our transmission blew up. And at that point, we were just stuck on this very steep grade with a trailer load of horses, and she came. Thank you.
It was them. It was
He's
them.
laughing. He's laughing at you.
They were in the trailer. I think the comment is on. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Oh yeah.
Sorry, horses moving through. We have a lot of evacuees here. So at that point, yeah, it got a little tense when the truck just flat out stopped. Our other trailer was behind us. So at that point, we were able to get out of the way, so other people evacuating, because it was very trafficky at that point.
Wait, was she was behind you because she had left?
She had
before
already
I
left
did.
before you got there. Yeah, when we first got stuck,
yeah.
you were in a long line of traffic,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
everybody else getting out, and we backed up so we could get out of the way. We didn't want to break down and also then trap everybody else in. So we managed to back down enough that we were able to get the truck and trailer out of the way, and then they went ahead and went on ahead of us and said they would find some way to get back to us. They were going to go find a place to dump the trailer load they had and come back, or whatever. They were going to find a way to get back to us. And at that point, we were just stuck there on the road, and people were driving by, but no one had big enough trucks to tow the rig that we had full of animals. We had one nice gentleman that stopped with a little small truck, but offered to park his truck right behind our trailer, so if we could find someone that would trailer us out, we could roll back or do something where we could roll the trailer away from our truck in order to try to bring another truck in. And so he stopped and stayed with us as we worked on that. Then another lady with a smaller size truck, not big enough for our truck trailer, stopped, and a gentleman right behind her stopped, who did have a great big truck that could handle ours, but he was already towing a trailer, a small trailer, so they
Not with animals. It was just
not with
flat.
animals,
Yeah.
like a little trailer
stuff,
of
yeah.
belongings that they were evacuating. And so what they did is they did not know each other. The one lady offered to take his trailer for him so he could come back for us. So they took off, found a place. This is really sketchy roads, so they had to drive quite a distance to find a place that they could swap out. And he handed this stranger all of his belongings, which says a lot for the community to trust each other. And that was a bunch of his livelihood in there. Handed that to her and came back for us, and that was a real welcome sight when he came back. Because meanwhile, no trucks that were coming by that were large enough, and in that case, there was no offers of help to come back. And so when he finally came back, we had to just wait. We had no contact, no cell service, no contact, and no way to let anybody know. So he came back and hooked up a big rope, because I guess he does tree hauling or something,
Yeah,
cutting,
pulls trees down.
pulls trees out, and hooked up a big giant thick rope to our truck and towed both our truck and our trailer out. And I won't mention the brands, but his was not the same model, make and model that my car was. And so he pulled us out, which was a little bit of a scary ride, because now we were being pulled behind his car, having to stay in neutral as his truck was needing to pull us up that big grade. And so he was pulling us with that rope, with the truck, our truck and trailer.
And I found out later that another person's rig died on that same grade.
Yeah, it was a tough.
Transmission went out, pulling a trailer of animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hot. It's hot out there in those situations. And so so ultimately we did get to a flat area, and at that point, instead of, we'd hoped that maybe our truck would have cooled off, or we might be able to do it, but at that point it started smoking, and we were worried about it starting a fire. So we pulled up to the side of the road, and the guys cut the wires in the battery real fast, so that way we could make sure that this truck wasn't going to catch on fire and start a whole nother problem. And we hooked up, moved it to the side of the road, hooked up to his trailer, and left our truck behind the fire lines, and continued on to get the horses out, where we ultimately met our partners who had procured another truck and got everybody down here to the ranch safely. It was a hairy ride. It was really tough on the animals. Our biggest concern was watching the temperature. The gentleman in the truck who was helping us had a temperature gauge up there that you could see, and as we were watching the temperatures being at 96, 98 degrees, knowing what it's like in the trailer, and we were, at this point, we had gotten stuck in the evacuee traffic, and we were pretty concerned about the horses doing okay, but we were able to get everybody home safe and sound, especially this little old one had me worried, but everybody did well.
So tell me, Stephanie, now, so you came in on Friday. Tell me a little bit about the accommodations here at the CowgirlUp Ranch.
Oh, I was just amazed. I have to say, what day was that? Yesterday, I was in Valley Springs, and I'd gone up to try to go to my house. I still can't get in. I don't know if it's there. But I was with my sister-in-law, and after I left her in Valley Springs, I went to the Cowgirl ice cream place. And there was a man in there, old-timer kind of guy, and he said, when he heard that I had been evacuated, he said, "Where'd they make you go?" And I just thought, no, I got just this most amazing place to go. And that I was brought here is like a miracle.
Aw.
It's really like a miracle.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep, we said we're taking you and your animals. Everybody come on.
So tell me, where are you staying at here?
Right here in this little cottage, which is so wonderful because I get to be right next to my beloveds here. And they look in the window at me, and Pegasus comes to the door and asks for her horse cookies. The sheep and the goats that I brought are up front. And am I forgetting anyone? The dogs are at Yoli's. And it's just great because Pegasus needs to have different food from these guys. So she's just out here wandering around along with the llama, although they haven't met, and the pig, and the ducks. So it is so wonderful having this space because it also has a sink in it, so I can prepare all her. She has special mash meals, and it's really hard without a sink. So I was feeling very grateful, and plus there's a Keurig coffee machine, so I am happy.
I kept keeping in contact with Stephanie, and when we had hit, oh gosh, it was past Murphy's when we were going through the hills and stuff, the last time I was able to call her, and I told her where we were, and she could just feel the emotion in her voice and the relief. She goes, "Oh, you guys are coming here. You know, you are close to me." So, you know, that right there just really hit my heart. But after that, we couldn't really contact
That's
each other.
right, I'd forgotten that, yeah. And I was so afraid they wouldn't be able to get through.
Yeah, there was when we got out of contact, I don't remember how long that was, but there was quite a long time. It probably felt forever. I think for all of us, we kept saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And nope, there's another turn. And but there was a long time of being out of contact where you just had to have that faith, you to have the faith that we would get there, and us to have the faith that our friends would make it there and wouldn't turn around either. And nobody turned around. We weren't. None of us were going home without you and those animals. So we weren't turning around.
I am so grateful.
Nothing would have made us turn around.
Yeah. And I knew that you would come if you could.
Yeah.
And I could tell by your voices that you were determined it would come.
We were going to come even if we couldn't. So, yeah.
And I was really appreciative because Mary Beth didn't tell me until later how worried she was about Pegasus from the very first, when we first loaded her in, because she's probably 30 years old. I don't know. She's a rescue, so you know. Yeah. I think she lost weight from the trip. It was very stressful for her, and I was really glad that you didn't tell me how worried you were.
That was the one we were keeping lots of checking on her frequently to make sure she was going to be okay.
So I wanted to ask you, when you were loading Ulysses, did you feel like at any point did you feel like, oh, I'm not sure this is going to work, that you're going to be able to do it?
No, I can load anything.
That's what I
if
heard.
I can catch them. The problem is we couldn't
She
catch
did
the
it.
other one that we had to leave behind, and I wasn't working
Right.
directly with my crew.
Right.
So
right.
when you're working with a lot of
Right.
different people, so.
So
But,
you weren't worried about that.
not
You
a-
knew you could get them
No,
in. Yeah.
no, that you had it set up so we weren't going to have a problem.
Yeah.
You know, the other place we were chasing, you know, not chasing, but trying to direct this horse on a 25-acre piece of property.
Yeah.
You know, you had everything set up, everything was ready, you were completely prepared when we got there.
Yeah, I put them
to
in a
get these
small
horses
space
out of
that they
there.
could just
Yeah.
back the trailer up to, and there was no
Yeah.
chance of escape.
No, there was
They had
absolutely
one way out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
no doubt there. It was just how many could we get in there.
Yeah.
So that was our only concern.
And I was so grateful that, for me, the big relief came when we closed that door on the donkeys and the horses.
Yeah,
Because I said, oh, the sheep, no problem.
yeah, those we can get in.
I stopped thinking, though, because I had learned long ago, you don't have to wrestle with sheep. All you have to do is get some food and
Yeah.
walk forward.
Yeah.
But I wasn't thinking, so we were trying to herd them. And then Kathy had the presence of mind to say, do they like grain?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, they love this. Oh, hello, Stephanie, where have you been? And so then
Worrying.
right in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody just followed right in, dogs and.
Well, we
shut
had
the
to
door.
bodily lift the dogs.
Yeah,
you know?
the dogs didn't follow in. They weren't sure where we were going.
But they wanted to be with their family, the sheep and the
Yeah.
goats. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was our little adventure, and now you're one of us. Another Cowgirl Up Ranch
I'm so glad.
devotee.
All right. Great.
Lifelong friendships.
Yeah. So true.
Yep.